Welcome back to my channel. So in this video I want to show you how to create a bootable Linux distribution. The Linux distribution could be an Ubuntu, a Kali Linux, a Manjaro, Debian, etc. Any Linux distribution. The way you create a Linux distribution is a little bit different from the way you do for Windows and stuff. So in this tutorial, there are two things I'd like you to download: a Balena Etcher. Okay, here are the requirements. You need a Balena Etcher for creating the bootable Linux distribution, then at least an 8 GB USB stick. I'm using an 8 GB flash drive for my own. Then the next thing would be your preferred Linux distribution. For the sake of this tutorial, I'll be using an Ubuntu for my own. So for Balena Etcher, just type Balena Etcher, then you hit it, and then you go to the Etcher download. Okay, 130 MB. I think this is it. Okay, you get to select the type you want. It works for Mac, it works for Windows as well, even for Linux. If you are trying to use a Linux distribution to create a bootable Linux distribution USB stick. So for me, for the sake of this tutorial, we'll be using the Windows version. So you download it. I already have mine installed. Then the next thing is your preferred Linux distribution. There are many of them, but for the sake of this tutorial, we'll be sticking to Ubuntu. Just type Ubuntu. It should be able to show you Ubuntu download, blah blah blah. So it pops up like this. You hit Ubuntu download. Then there are two versions currently. The 22.04.1, which is this, and then the latest release 22.10. This one works till July of this year, while this one okay, what is happening? 22.04 and well, I don't really know the difference. Okay, this one works until 2027. I think I'll stick to this. 9 months of security, maintenance, blah blah blah. Okay, let's stick to this. Just hit download. I'm using an internet download manager, so it should pop up like this, and then I cancel because I've already downloaded. And then here's what we do next. Open up your Balena Etcher. Then you have three options: from file, from URL. From URL, you have to take the URL of the Linux distribution you want to boot. That is from their official page, and paste it here. It will now download and start the process, but I prefer downloading and then using from file. You can also use from clone drive, and if you already have a USB stick with Linux distribution inside. So for now, I'll be sticking to flash from file. I'll locate my distribution, Ubuntu 22.04.1, then select target. I'll select this. Please make sure you don't have any other USB stick inserted in your PC, or if you have, just make sure you are selecting the right one, because if you select the wrong one, you definitely lose the files in the wrong USB stick. So mine is an 8 gig. I've already selected since it's the only USB stick in my drive at the moment. So I'll hit on flash, say yes. So it has started downloading. This is the adverts and several other stuff. So I'll fast forward the video to get to the end of the installation.